Okay, so now we're going to quickly go through a few questions from Chapter 2. It primarily looks at our first economic model, the production possibility frontier. And as a quick reminder, here's the picture of the production possibility frontier from the homework. And in this case, they've put guns here and butter here. Remember, the production possibility frontier is just a simplification of trying to visually, in a two-dimensional picture, take a look at what we as a society can do with the resources and technology we have. And keep in mind that line or that curve is the boundary. It's saying, you know what, because society only has so many resources, the land, labor, capital, and I always include the entrepreneur, since those are scarce, there's only so much goods and services that we as a society can produce. And as a result, the production possibility curve just shows us that in a picture form. So reminder, the point A is the point beyond the boundary. So that means today it's not possible. But if something were to happen, and we've gone over these in class, there's some sort of a change in technology or change with one of our resources, and we could potentially get here. But today, right now, in this moment in time, A is impossible. And point B is definitely possible today, but here's the thing, that it makes no point to be at this point B and be inside the PPF when we could be all the way over here at point D. So what we generally will say here about the points inside the PPF is they're feasible, meaning they're possible today, they're possible, but they're not efficient. They're inefficient because we could be further along, we could be or further out at the production possibility frontier. So the idea is, why would we want to produce less when we could produce more? And again, point A, the reminder there is that's the impossible today. So the first set of questions are just asking you to kind of label, what do A, B, C, D, and so forth represent. So it says, the first principle of economics discussed in Chapter 1 is that people face trade-offs. So as you remember, trade-offs means, we're having to give something up. Always trade-off. And this is the two goods are industrial output and agricultural. So this says, show what happens to the PPF if the society develops a new fertilizer that significantly increases agricultural production. So what you want to notice here is what it says in this question. It clearly states that this has had an impact on agricultural production in particular. It didn't say industrial, so it's agricultural output that has increased. So what they want you to do is move this curve to where you think it might be. So again, you kind of got to get used to, but you're going to click on the original picture as I just did, and then you can start moving it. So based on what the question is saying, you want to decide, is it this kind of a shift, or maybe you decide no, it's this kind, or maybe you decide it's that kind. You need to decide what kind of shift, but you'll again right click your mouse and move. The next set of question is having you kind of quickly review the difference between micro and macroeconomics. So microeconomics is looking at specifics or the individual. Remember, the individual consumer, the individual firm. It's looking at things on a small level. Macroeconomics is big overall economy. So as you go through these, that's how you want to address this. Is this a micro or a macroeconomic topic? And then our last question is looking at those ideas of positive versus normative economics. Positive economics means we have evidence to support what we say. So that does not mean that it's a fact. It could be, but it may not be. So positive economics is where we are presenting evidence to support what we say. Normative economics, on the other hand, is completely an opinion. So I might say something like should or could or would. Those types of words are generally going to be your key, that this is a normative type of statement. I'm saying something, I think it's the way it should be, and I present absolutely no evidence. That's going to be normative. So that's what you'll want to be thinking about as you address these questions.